About 6 years ago, I was working in the sound booth in the back of our Baptist church in Springboro when Deborah Geisels, who was originally the president of this club, caught me coming out of the sound booth. And she said to me, she said, "I'd like you to come join our Toastmasters Club in downtown Dayton next Wednesday." And I thought to myself, there is no way I am going to Toastmasters or going to a public speaking club, because I knew what Toastmasters was all about. But Deborah is also one of those types of persons that if you said no to, that you knew you were going to argue with her for 30 minutes about how wrong you were and how right she was. So I just said yes. And I thought, I'll come up with some excuse later in the week not to go to the Toastmaster meeting with her. And then she said these words to me. She said, "Oh, by the way," she said, "I'll pick you up next week at 7 o'clock. Just be out there by the Arby's and I'll pick you up." And I thought, oh no, now my excuse is gone. I can't say I couldn't make it or I didn't have a car or whatever else. So I went to the Toastmasters meeting with Deborah. And I got through it. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to do anything. I just sat there and I made it through the Toastmasters meeting. And I thought, it's very obvious to her that I didn't enjoy it and she probably won't say anything to me. I can get out of the car and fulfill my obligation of telling Deborah that I went to the Toastmasters meeting. And she said to me these words as I got out of the car. She says, "I'm so glad that you enjoyed it so much. I'll see you again next Wednesday morning, and I'll pick you up at the same place." And I thought, oh, no, I'm stuck. But I went back the following week, made it through that meeting. But I noticed something about the people there. The people were friendly, and they were kind. And they were just as nerve-wracked as I was about speaking in public. And I came back again and again until I'm sure that Deborah said to me, "Why don't you do your icebreaker speech," which is your first speech in Toastmasters. It's basically biographical information about yourself. And I remember giving that speech. It was, all I can remember about that speech was I talked about my grandmother and grandfather's farm, which I enjoyed as a kid. And I gave the speech, and I got done with it. And there was these little comment cards that we fill out at Toastmasters Club. And it says things like, to me, like, "Mike, glad to hear more about you. Mike, keep on speaking. Mike, love to hear you talk today." And I realized, and I looked down at those comment cards, that they were wet. Because it had broken the ice in my heart about other people and about speaking. There was this introverted shell that I'd broken out of. And it changed me literally for the rest of my life because one person asked me to come to a Toastmasters meeting. I believe it can do the same for you, whether you're a professional speaker or whether you're so shy you can't hardly speak to your friends. Toastmasters can impact you and can make a huge difference. I thank Deborah every time I see her now for her inviting me to Toastmasters. And I would encourage you to come to our Toastmasters Club or to a local Toastmasters Club in your area.